Alright guys, welcome back to demo part 2 of setting up the alphabet poster. In this one we're going to focus on bringing in our type. And the main goal of this is to introduce you to a bunch of different typefaces that you can use on future assignments, just so you start to associate names with the looks of these different fonts, these different typefaces. So the first thing I'm going to do is just create the title up here. And so I'm going to take my type tool right here. And if I just click once, it's going to give like a preloaded text called lorem ipsum. Lorem ipsum is just this preloaded Greek text that comes from an ancient document. And a lot of designers like to use that as a preloaded text just so they can sample the type and see what it looks like when there are letters in there. So before I do anything, you'll notice that the type is actually selected. So I don't have to like hit delete. I can just start typing and that'll delete everything that's currently in this text box. So I'm just going to go and type away alphabet, alphabet. That spells alphabet. I'll take my move tool and I'll take it down here and just eyeball kind of place it somewhere right in the center of that red space. For our actual point size, in the options bar, you can set that to 160 points. You can see it's indicated right here. And then the last thing I'm going to do is change the black color to white. Something that's kind of fun about this as well, I'm just nudging it there with my arrows, is now you can actually like select specific letters within this font title, and then you can just change them. That way you get this kind of like fun looking family of different font samples. So this is the first one. Got my capital A, and I'm just gonna select something there. This one at this point, like I'm just kind of going for fun. I'm just selecting the letter by clicking and dragging over it, and then I'm just going to go and select something new within my font drop-down menu. There's not really a right or wrong answer to this. I would say the main thing is just see if you can get a number of different fonts, just so you have like an interesting collection represented. That looks like the same one. And this slanted B kind of looks a little weird. I'm going to probably change that to something else. And this capital A Algerian typeface, because it doesn't have a lowercase a, I'm just going to change it until it gets into something that's a bit more in the lowercase orientation. So you can see my text kind of grew a little bit. If that happened for you, then just take the type and you can just nudge it over, move it over either with your mouse or with your nudge tools. Now the next setup, we're going to remember how to use the duplicate function. And so the first thing I'm going to do is just zoom into this little cell right here. So using Alt and then scrolling in. I'm going to take my type tool. I'm going to click once. I'm going to do capital A, and then by holding Shift and hitting A, and then I'll do a lowercase a. So I have just this like sampling of an uppercase letter A and a lowercase letter A. I'm also just going to change this to, I don't know, a simple font just at the top. So I'm just going to go to a human variable concept. You don't have to do that. And then I'm going to drop the point size to 79. So I'm just going to go to 79, hit enter. You could make it 80, you can make it 75. Somewhere around there though, so it actually fills in that actual space is going to be most appropriate. I'm then also going to take this right here and I'm going to copy it. So by holding Alt, I can click and drag. I can even hold Shift and it'll put it down below that initial little text box. And this one I'm just going to type in font name, so FONT NAME. And this I'm going to drop to 12 points. So I can double click, triple click, that selects all of the fonts, all of the text within this text box. And then going up to my options bar, I'm going to change 79 points to 12 points and hit enter. So I've now got this little font name that's kind of sitting below the sample of A, capital and lowercase a. The last thing I'm going to do with the font name is I'm going to set the alignment for the paragraph to center align, and then reposition that right in the center of the actual little cell right here. And you'll notice in a little bit as we start to work, by putting it right in the center, it's just going to help, like as you change the different names, it'll just kind of like fill out into that space evenly from the center. So now I'm pretty much set up to copy out all of the letters that I need. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my font name, and I'm going to hold Shift and click on the A, the double A's. So I've got both selected. Then I'm going to hold Alt, I'm going to click, hold Shift, and drag to the right. I'm still holding on to Shift and Alt. I let go of the mouse, then I let go of Shift and Alt. And then, because we've set ourselves up for the duplication function, I'm now going to go Ctrl+D, 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 Ctrl+D. And so that duplicates all of those letters over to the right, kind of like filling that top row of letters. I'm going to do a little bit of an adjustment here just to make sure that these are all kind of like more centered. And I'll do that by just doing like simple little nudges. Again, I'm just eyeballing it. Now I'm going to hold Shift and click on all of these letter A's and all of these font names. You'll notice they're selected when there's a little like red baseline that is illuminated when you click on it. Again, to select them, I'm holding Shift and clicking. And then I'm going to hold Alt. I'm going to click and drag down. And I'm kind of shooting for the same location as the cell up above. Then I'll let go of the mouse. I'll let go of the keyboard. And then you guessed it, same thing, Ctrl+D, Ctrl+D, Ctrl+D. And so that fills out the grid with a bunch of letter A's and font names. Now you'll notice in my sample to the side here, Y and Z are the only two on that bottom line. So just because I think symmetry is cool, I ended up deleting the 4 samples, 2 on either side of the center letters, so that we get enough spaces for all of our letters. And this will be kind of like our stage 2. I think I might break this into 3 demos just so that these demos don't run too long. Okay, so we'll consider that done. Again, the main thing we've learned here is doing the Alt+Click+Drag, and then follow that by Ctrl+D to duplicate your letters to different locations within the composition. We also learned how to change the different letters within the title here to different fonts so that we can see those different fonts being expressed in the title. Alright guys, that's it for today.